Strong consumer demand and lower supply of homes are bringing home values close to their 2007 peak. Here to break down the current standing of the real estate market are real estate brokers with Douglas Elliman, Tom Bastilio, and Mickey Conlon. Did I get that right?
You sure did.
Okay.
Gold star.
All right, so nationally, 2007, we're nearing the peaks, but in the New York market already, we've surpassed those quite a long time ago, right?
Yeah, and we're having the busiest post-Thanksgiving holiday season we have had in years.
Really? Is this a similar Trump effect to what we saw in the stock market?
You know, one thing we saw, one of our favorite quizzes with clients was, where are you? Where do you stand right now on a purchase or a sale? And they'd say, we're waiting for the election. And of course we'd ask, well, we'd say, so what are you waiting for?
Right?
They didn't know, but they figured psychologically something was going to happen regardless of which candidate won.
Right.
So all of
Certainty.
those people,
Certainty.
So all of those people, all that pent-up demand, we knew that the floodgates would open up and that we'd have to deal with that in one way or another. And typically around the holidays, the market becomes very sleepy.
Right.
And right now, it's as robust as a spring market.
Yeah,
Interesting.
especially these last, the second half of December is usually just real quiet, and it's been anything but.
Okay. And who are the buyers? Are they younger people? Are they older people?
It's kind of across the board. I mean, we're seeing a little bit of everything, but there are a lot of younger people getting into the market. First-time buyers, always internationals in New York.
And where are the best deals in the city specifically?
We can't tell you
Asking
that.
for a friend.
Really?
Asking for a friend who may be interested.
It's always good to get in on new development at the very beginning. Project
Not
right
Brooklyn.
before.
Oh, Brooklyn. I mean, Brooklyn's great. I mean, are there great deals there?
Right.
Brooklyn's as expensive as Manhattan now. Certain parts of Brooklyn are on par with New York City prices.
In fact, we're seeing Long Island City pricing is on par with Manhattan, which is really surprising. So there's a tremendous amount of new development slated for Long Island City. So that's something to keep an eye on.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, if you go to Long Island City, all you see are cranes, and you actually see almost neighborhoods that don't really exist yet, but you can tell by the development in 3 to 5 years, these will be robust neighborhoods.
Absolutely, because anybody with an eye for that, you can apply the same rules that we're applying to Hudson Yards, which is a city within a city. And it's one of the most anticipated new development projects in New York. And there is no infrastructure there. The infrastructure will be created, but if you build it, they will come. We've seen that happen in the financial district, and for about 10 years, we've been, shaking our pom-poms saying financial district, financial district, financial district.
Yeah.
It is now a reality.
Okay. All right. Now I know you focus on New York City, but where are there potentially other deals if I want to get out of here and move somewhere else?
Why leave?
I don't know. I'm just saying. New year, looking
You
at
have a
options.
good job
Anybody
here.
leave?
No, I know. I'm not saying for real. I'm asking for a friend. But
Is it the same friend?
This friend is confused.
I have lots of friends, so it's a different friend. But yes, so if there were other cities that you would recommend for younger buyers, what would you say would give them the best deals possible?
Great deals. One thing we're seeing, I'm going to tiptoe around that question. One thing we're seeing with younger buyers, specifically millennials, is a shift away from the suburbs into the cities. And it's the polar opposite of what we saw after World War II. The cities emptied out, we created suburbs, we were a car culture. Now with ride sharing, there's less emphasis on car ownership, and it's changing the face of our cities. And we're seeing the same thing. One thing that millennials and baby boomers have in common is getting away from the big house with the yard and the stuff and the maintenance. We have a lot of clients who are empty nesters who coming into the city. They want the culture. They want to go see a Broadway show. They want great restaurants.
It's the greatest. If you can afford it, it's the greatest place to retire in the world.
Absolutely.
You have convenience. You don't have to get in a car to do anything, and you have so many activities. If you can handle the cold.
It's like a reset on their life. They're starting all over again. Okay.
So, do people talk to you at all about interest rates?
That's
Constantly.
a big part of our
So
daily dialogue.
Are people seeing that rates are going up and they're trying to get in now? Is that part of the motivating
that's
factor?
part of the sense of urgency that has probably happened since post-Thanksgiving and this whole holiday season, because I feel like we've been talking about low interest rates for I don't know how many years now. It's been years
9
and years and
years.
years. Low interest, they're never going to be this low again. They're never going to be this low again.
Right. And they keep going lower.
Finally, it's like a broken record, but it's really now happening. I think we can emphatically say they're never going to be this low again.
Okay.
But we'll check back next year. But that has definitely with the Fed having made the move that they did and talk of more rate increases in 2017, that has created that sense of urgency because you have more buying power.
Yes.
With interest rates that low, get in now and you can have more buying power.
Now, New York is a very international market. The euro is very weak compared to the dollar. The pound took a major hit after Brexit.
Of course.
Those factors aren't contributing to a slowdown in New York?
They're actually helping to buoy New York. In times of global economic crisis, investors shift their assets. And New York has now surpassed London in terms of its stability as a global asset class. So we're seeing a lot of those investors who did have money in London coming here.
Right. Well, I get that versus the pound, but the euro, you were getting a 30% discount for buying in New York City, right, because of the dollar. But now you don't have that, so prices aren't so cheap.
It's not a matter of the pricing as much as the stability, because
Got
we
it.
know since the last downturn,
Yeah.
there were a lot of people who were kind of afraid of where this might go. When prices started dropping, they were pretty much crashing. And what was anticipated to be a 10-year recovery turned out to be maybe a 3-year recovery. So they know, regardless of the ups and downs of the real estate market in New York, it is still a stable investment.
Okay, I have a quick question.
Until it's underwater.
Huh? What is it?
Until it's underwater.
That's Miami. That's Miami.
Also asking for a friend. People are buying houses together, like just friends, getting in on it. Do you recommend that at all, or what are some things you should be careful of if you're going to get in on a house with a friend?
Have a prenuptial agreement.
No, like a real
Seriously.
friend, like a real. Just
No, you
like
need to create a
That's-
company
that's
and have
tough.
like a strict contract
Absolutely.
about it, right?
We've seen people try to enter into these agreements and they come in separately and saying, no, we're going to share these expenses. There are so many expenses. Who pays when the dishwasher breaks? Who pays when you need a new boiler? It's very dangerous, and those rules have to be set in stone at the beginning.
Unless they're doing it specifically as an investment
Yes.
property. I mean, that's
Which
that-
works
that-
better, but if you're
Okay.
cohabitating
Yeah.
in this space, somebody always gets left holding the bag.
Okay.
Is Airbnb a contributor at all to driving the market?
Not New York.
No. Okay.
Not New York. In a fantasy world, yes, people would think that they can make a lot of money with Airbnb in New York, but there are rules in place that make that nearly impossible, especially on a long-term basis.
Right. Okay. Also, Mickey and Tom, thank you guys so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Thank
Happy New
you.
Year.
Thank you.
Same
You
to
too.
you.
Okay, coming up, we've got Alex Blacker back to talk more about the holiday gadget flop. Stick with us. But first, how Donald Trump plans to use social media as part of his presidency.